Do you guys remember Windows Phone? HTC, LG, BlackBerry? Well, I am mentioning all of them because Apple is the reason behind their failure. Recently, the US government filed the biggest case against Apple in history. They investigated for 5 years and found out that Apple's dominance in the US market is completely illegal. Let me tell you one thing, if you go to the US, there are primarily iPhones. 60% of the market share is iPhone, 22% is Samsung, 3% is Motorola, and 2.4% is Google. And Apple's dominance in the US is so big that even small companies can enter the US. And this happens when Apple takes advantage of such a monopoly and starts promoting other products. For example, if you use Apple's products, you go into Apple's ecosystem, in which you will only use Apple's products. If you use an iPhone and want the best tablet with it, you will buy an iPad. If you want the functionality of a smartwatch, you will buy an Apple Watch. If you want a computer, you will buy an Apple Mac. This is a simple thing. If you go into Apple's ecosystem, you will only use Apple's products. Even the US Department of Justice has said that this is a clear violation of their rules, and they have created a monopoly in an illegal way. Now let's talk about the complaint that has been filed. What has been said in this complaint? And we will also try to find out what the outcome of this will be on Apple, because Apple's future is in danger. First of all, I would like to say that when Apple works with its monopoly, it gets power, because of which it can make the most money, because of consumer, developer, and other businesses. And some things have been clearly highlighted in this complaint list. First of all, they block innovative super apps. That is, the app in which you get to see all the functionalities at the same time. And Apple's App Store does not promote all these things. With this, they suppress mobile cloud streaming services like Xbox and Game Cloud service, in which you can play cloud gaming on your mobile phone. They restrict that too. With this, cross-platform messaging apps. That is, you know that iPhone has iMessage, and iMessage's compatibility is not with Android's RCS. With this, if you use a non-Apple smartwatch, then its functionality is also very limited, and limiting third-party digital wallets. That is, the functionality on Tap 2 with third-party apps. Apple has also limited that, and Apple has limited many such things, whether to buy a web browser, video communication, new subscription. If we agree, then Apple makes a lot of money by taking advantage of this monopoly. In fiscal year 2023, they generated an annual net revenue of $383 billion and generated a net income of $97 billion. With this, the US government has to say that we have investigated it for many years and saw how Apple is doing wrong here. And now the right time has come that we have to protect the consumer. We have to protect the businesses and the new innovation that other companies want to bring into the market, which is not able to bring. It's time to promote them here. Even if you look at it, this thing is bigger than what happened with the European Union. Do you remember the case of the European Union? In which Apple was made mandatory that it has a USB Type-C port. After this, what happened in the iPhone 15? USB Type-C port came, but after this, the European Union also said that you have to open your ecosystem. The other products in your ecosystem, their compatibility will also have to be done with Android. Apple has also agreed to this. Now they will make a special app store for Europe, where the user will have the requirement that he can also download other apps. That is, in today's time, Epic Games is also going to launch an Epic Store for iOS, in which there will be a separate store where everyone can download apps. The changes of this type literally came into Europe, but now it seems that if all these things happen in the US, then literally, like the iPhone we use today, the way to use it will change completely. You will get to see a lot like Android. Anyway, after this, let's listen to Apple's response here. They say that this lawsuit threatens their ability to innovate and the coming technology for it, because Apple believes that they provide technology very well and want to give people the best possible experience. And if there are things like this type of lawsuit, they will not be able to provide good services and technology innovation to people. This was Apple's defense. Along with this, it has also been said that Apple also monitors people's privacy and security from time to time, because of which Apple can make the most profit. We often blame Chinese companies for privacy and security, but Apple is also not. He also extracts a lot of data so that more money can be made. If we talk about this, then the lawsuit has now been filed. Now a lot of things have been done in it, but if we talk about it now, it will go to court, and its decision will be in the US court. Now its hearing process will start. Slowly new secrets will be revealed, new things will be understood, and by 2027 it will be known what exactly is going to happen with Apple here. Because the danger that Apple was seeing here, it was only seen from the European Union, where Type-C was added. They were also saying that there should be a removable battery in your phone. Along with this, they started hearing a lot of restrictions, which is seen, Apple has literally followed here. And in the coming time, it is making changes in the iPhone, and many such changes that you will get to see specific for Europe. But if we talk about this lawsuit, if the US government wins here, so after this, Apple will have to change its entire strategy and work on the iPhone again. And this is literally what we see now, the existence of the iPhone. This thing can also be a threat to it. Along with this, it is important to keep some things in mind here. First of all, this type of antitrust lawsuit has already happened. Before this, it happened with Google, whose trial is going on here. It also happened with Amazon and Meta company, on which an attempt was made here in 2020, but it was also very unsuccessful here. So now the thing to see is how Apple protects and defends itself, because the lawsuit creates a very difficult condition here. Along with this, its reaction was amazing. Carl Pei also tweeted, and he also felt that Apple has really created a monopoly in the US, and this is a problem, because of which the Nothing company is not able to make its entry in the US. And many companies may be happy because many companies can get a chance to penetrate the US market. Because if we talk about it, this thing is not limited to the US market. If I look at Apple, then Apple did this thing in the US market and cracked it there. Now people are applying the same strategy everywhere. You can even see in India, as the iPhone started rising, Apple started boosting the sales of its other products. Once the iPhone started selling, people started buying Apple Watch, AirPods, MacBook, and iPad. Because slowly Apple's ecosystem keeps trapping people here, and that's why they make money for a long time. And if we talk about today's time, then even if the iPhone's market share is less than 5% in India, but even after that, Apple makes a lot of profit compared to other companies in the market. And if the US government wins here and if changes come on it, then literally its impact will be on the smartphone market in India. And we will also look at the iPhones that are available here. It is possible that in the coming time, people will keep buying iPhones. So yes, there are a lot of things to do, but in today's time, I thought that this was very important news to share with you, because literally this type of thing had not happened in history before. Such a big threat had not come to Apple, but it will be interesting to see what happens in the future. And how does Apple get out of this problem? After this, what will be the final judgment here? That will be interesting to see. So you can stay here, you can subscribe to the channel. Whatever will happen, everyone will keep giving you detailed information about it. Thank you for watching the video. I will hear you in the next one.